On July 16, 1945, the world watched as the first atomic bomb was detonated during the Trinity Test in New Mexico. This historic event, part of the Manhattan Project, marked the beginning of the nuclear age, but it also triggered hidden consequences for thousands living in the fallout path. Welcome to the Infographic Vision. This is the story of the Trinity Test Downwinders. The Trinity Test was conducted in a remote desert near Alamogordo, New Mexico. While scientists celebrated the technological breakthrough, the broader impact on surrounding communities was not fully considered. The detonation released a massive cloud of radioactive fallout. Winds carried radioactive particles over a wide area, contaminating the air, water, and soil of nearby towns and rural areas. Many of the affected communities were rural and economically disadvantaged. Residents were involved in agriculture and exposed to contaminated soil and water. The government did not provide adequate warnings or protective measures to these communities. Officials underestimated the potential health impacts of radiation. Reports and studies were limited, and there were insufficient safety protocols for dealing with fallout. The government's focus on secrecy overshadowed public health considerations. As the fallout settled, the health consequences for downwinders became apparent. Exposure to radioactive particles led to a rise in cancer rates and other radiation-related illnesses. Families faced the impact of illnesses and deaths linked to radiation exposure. Many were unaware of the cause of their health issues until much later. The lack of immediate response and support led to grassroots advocacy efforts. Activists and affected individuals fought to bring attention to their plight and demand justice. Their efforts resulted almost half a decade later in the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act of 1990. This legislation aimed to provide financial compensation to those affected by radiation from nuclear tests. While it was a step forward, many felt it did not fully address the health impacts or offer sufficient support. Today, the Trinity Test site is preserved as part of the National Park Service. It reflects both the scientific achievements of the atomic age and the human costs associated with nuclear testing. Ongoing advocacy and educational efforts continue to highlight the impacts of nuclear testing. These initiatives ensure that the stories of those affected are remembered and addressed. As we reflect on the Trinity Test, it's essential to recognize the mistakes made by officials and the suffering of the downwinders. Their story is a reminder of the need for transparency, accountability, and responsibility in scientific and military advancements. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to comment about the video or what should be our next video about. That will help us a lot.
Thank you.